to take away the opposing offense's identity. And you've certainly done that a lot this season. Do you feel like there was any aspect of their identity that you guys took away successfully tonight?
Yeah, I think we played a really strong first half and, got complacent and comfortable. So I was very disappointed how we came out and had a 3-and-out to start the drive of the second half. So it was a good, successful stop. Then we gave up a fake punt and then gave up a touchdown on the ensuing play, and was really disappointed in our overall finish in the second half. So I think we had a play count of 98 plays. That's what I was just told. And so obviously, if the play count is accurate that high, then we got to do a much better job getting off the field and not allowing extended drives there, especially in the second half.
Questions? Back here, back right.
Was there anything that JMU did specifically that you were really surprised by? Because it seemed, second half especially, lots of explosion plays on their end.
No. Yeah, I thought we had a great plan, executed that well in the first half, came out with a couple of, adjustments of our own that felt like gave us an effective chance. And, there's just no excuse for whether losing in one-on-ones, that we felt like we could be in a better position to do so. We had a couple of individuals lined up on the wrong side of the field at times, which that's not going to be a very effective defense if that's the case. So doesn't matter who's out there. It's one standard. And like I said, really, really disappointing finish there. So difficult to enjoy, relish the moment that we should be right now for an awesome season and continuing on. But I'm just more so pumped to really dive in deep and improve and address it immediately, where we went wrong there in the second half and gave up way too many points in explosives.
On the left, your middle, Max.
Tosh, you spoke just now about how you're pumped up to attack the process all over again. Dan's talked about your work ethic and how you're one of the hardest workers he's been around. Just describe it as what you enjoy so much about the preparation and just diving into everything.
Yeah, I think that's really the most joy of it all is that, and to get positive results from the work that you put in. So, that's I'll be, as soon as I leave from here, we'll be starting that process and, turn on the second half and address every single, play that we went wrong on, and where we need to improve. And, I got a good feel, obviously, these days where you get to watch the iPad. So know quite a few of them already. Like one of them I just mentioned where, we have a day one install call and, a young man is lined up on the wrong side of the field. So that's not going to work very well. So it starts with me. I got to make sure he's aligned on the right side of the field. So we'll certainly get that corrected.
Right here, Zach.
When you're in the second half and you start to see, things going down the wrong way, and, what's your message to the team to try and snap them out of it, get the momentum to stop going that way?
Yeah, just there's one standard. I was proud of our guys to have some great, what we call put out the fire. So some reactionary defense to some adversity that we faced from other sides. I was proud to see the guys get some big time stops, some red zone stops early on. So, we're gonna take victory and defeat for the imposter that they are. And, we got a victory, very pleased for that. But, this is a unacceptable performance in the second half, by our defense. So, it's to answer your question, we operate to one standard. So, quite frankly, there was some developmental guys out there on the field, obviously, in the second half. And then we changed those guys out and went back to our ones, and we gave up some really poor, defensive plays with those guys on the field as well. So, it's operating to a standard. It's not getting lackadaisical, whatever the score was. I think we went in at halftime at, what was the score, 34-6, and again, like I said, we came out and started out the right way, got a 3-and-out, and then just it's unacceptable of the explosives we gave up, and so we got to put the guys in the right position and we got to go execute.
Here on the left, Eric.
Mentioned a couple times kind of your excitement to attack the process of working on some of these things. Why are you confident this group will be receptive and join you in that enthusiasm to get better?
Yeah, I mean it's been an amazing group. So the culture, everything, this is even in these situations this entire season when we do get up on a team, like we have. I think the guys have continued that. There's some moments that stuck out. I think it was Minnesota game and stuff where some guys stuck to that standard that were out there in the game. I was really proud of them. So, we're going to get the corrections immediately. I'm going to do that tonight, and then bring the guys in and address them immediately. But like I said, I mean I'm pissed off right now. Just quite frankly. So we went in the locker room after the game. And, I made that clear. And Coach Lanning, of course, as well, when we got it's a bittersweet feeling that we get to move on and very thankful for that. But if we played anywhere remotely close this next game, the way we did in the second half, then, we're going to have a disappointing feeling after the game. So we're going to address that and then and grow from it, So thankfully, you get the ability to win and continue and still be able to make these corrections. So we're thankful for that.
Last question here, James.
Is there any one number that is infuriating you most, Tosh? Because there's a lot here that is season highs, and most since last season. And when it's 3 straight postseason games now
Mm-hmm.
of 500 plus yards and these kind of numbers, there will be naturally a lot of questions outside, and I'm sure there'll be that many more inside. Is there one that is jumping out at you that is most?
You're referring to a statistic or?
Statistic, any number, the
No.
34 points, the 500 yard, and
Yeah.
anything rushing past anything. It's most.
No, I mean, they're all of them. So, again, to have a dominating performance like we did in the first half and follow it up with that is just the overall, most disappointing. So I haven't watched the film yet, so I could answer that after we watch the film and correct it.